In this question, we want to know what value of k gives the following system of equations an infinite number of solutions, one solution, or zero solutions. Well, what we do right away is set up our matrix. We get our matrix rows as follows. And then we see that if we multiply the first row by 10 and the second row by 4, we set up 20s in the x column. I then want to multiply the first row by 1/10 to get it back to its original. But before doing that, I'll subtract row 1 minus row 2 and row 1 minus row 3. And doing that gives these as our next two rows. Well, at this point we see it's not possible to set up a 0 in this column, or sorry, a 0 for this entry. So let's set up a 0 for this entry as well. And that'll give us, allow us to solve for y in this row, and then allow us to solve for z, and then allow us to solve for x if necessary. So, which it won't be in this case, but we can do it that way. What we then do, therefore, is get this entry of 44 to become an 88, and we subtract row 2 minus row 3. And doing that gives us this as our final form of a matrix. Now, the first question, part A, asked, how can we have an infinite number of solutions? We can have an infinite number of solutions if all of the entries are 0. Well, all the entries are 0 if negative 5 plus 8k equals 0, or in other words, k equals 5/8. So if k equals 5/8, we have an infinite number of solutions. Now, what if we have only one solution? Only one solution would mean that all of the coefficients are equal to 0, but the right side is not. Well, that's impossible. The right side is 0. So the second possibility of there only being one solution is impossible. Well, how about then if there are no solutions whatsoever? Well, we've already exhausted the cases of there being an infinite number of solutions and one solution, so all other scenarios must be the case where there are 0 solutions. So, an infinite number of solutions means k is 5/8, one solution is impossible, and no solutions would mean that k is an element of the reals and k doesn't equal 5/8.